Hello and welcome back. So I think we need to get this car in game and start adding the doors and things to the wheels. So we already set the 4 wheels in the visual LOD, and we did the axis, got them spinning and turning. Now I'm going to show you how to get your cars in game without the need for a video to show you every time to remind you, because the process can differ, but what won't differ is how you find out why your car isn't going in game. There'll be a few reasons. One, it's too high poly. This one, if you look here, everything we see there is 8,500 polygons and 5,500 vertices. So that'd be nice if every car could be that simple, but it's not. And you get a lot for your bang for your buck there, don't you? It's a very nice car is made. So how do we get this in game? We're going to put the 4 wheels on. So we're going to go in the config. Remember we had this Stratos slot wheel, so we need a slot for every wheel. 1 2 2 1, which is front right, and 2 2 rear right. Now we already earmarked all them. We'll leave the Neva wheel bit in, so we can, when we do get it game, we can see what it looks like with the Neva wheel slapped on it. Maybe your car would like to accept the Neva wheel. So we'd already done that when we sorted the wheels out. Now we need the actual car. Did doors driver, didn't we? So the hood. So the car starts here. Like I said, I made a video earlier and it crashed, which is not a bad thing. It took me quite a while, but it allowed me to practice. And what we have done here, we've taken car script here from the DayZ vehicle folder. DayZ vehicles wheeled config. We're basing it on the hatchback because it doesn't have 4 doors, although it has 4 seats. It only has 2 doors, and we're making a 2-door car, and for now I think that's where we're at, because everything behind the 2 front seats we're going to do at a later date when I do a 4-door car. Essentially it's just the same. What we need to do here is find car script. Now we're gonna copy all of car script, paste it in our config here, and call it DBO. You're going to call it something else, car script, and we're going to use that as the base for our Stratos car. You see there how it inherits it, and that allows us, because that's the base, it doesn't parse anything. Can you see how it says class crew and not class crew? That means this crew that we have here has everything in it it needs. The original one had too much, so I took some out. What do I mean like that? Sorry, the original one didn't. The original off-road hatchback does, which we'll go to now. So that's our base, based on that car script. Please excuse the noise of the wheel. So our Stratos is based on that, and I did that because I can't type off-road God, the number of times he used hatchback. Maybe I just put class. I think we've been here before with wheels, haven't we? So class off-road hatchback inherits car script, and so our Stratos inherits DBO car script, so it's just the same. And we copied that, pasted it in our config, so this is off-road hatchback. But now I've made a few amendments. I've took the neither wheel off actually. For now we'll put it back. I've left the hidden selections in because we're going to mirror them. That's just the damage textures there, we'll go into that. We already did it with the door, etc., but with the car it's more involved, obviously. Pointed the model to our vehicle. Okay, so we're just gonna, so I save that. I don't know what change I've made. We're just gonna go to the model here. So we've got our four wheels on there. Got our config. We're just going to pack that. And then we're going to see why it will or will not load in game. Okay, so I don't expect this to appear. Oh, in Zombie objects, Stratos is there at least. We double click it and nothing's happening. How do we know what's that? Why it's not happening? Well, we have to go to our DayZ report file, which is in your computer application data local DayZ. Open that in the old Notepad++, find Stratos. We get lots of errors. Ignore the sounds and the shadow and shadow difference. What we're looking for is the word error. Warnings are okay. Well, they're not perfectly okay, but warnings will not crash a game, nor will they stop the thing spawning. It's error. What error is telling you is something's amiss, and luckily it tells us that you cannot create the AI vehicle Stratos. So it had a go, however, due to these errors. The action selection seat driver was not found in the view or fire geometry level. Well, that's brilliant because it's telling us where it is. So we've got to correct that. Now, you don't know automatically, but you do after this video, that those selections in the view geometry are the things that you look at and you get the icon appearing before you, saying get in or close door or take wheel, etc, etc. Not so. Wheel damper land is the physics. It can't simulate because it has no proper selection in geometry. So first of all, let's just copy that. Let's go to the model. Let's go to the view geometry LOD. And remember, in geometry everything must be convex, which means all faces pointing outwards. We're just going to create a box. We're not going to create it in that LOD. We're going to go 4 windows, create it here, create a box, shrink it down a bit, put it where the driver's seat is here, and we will name that seat driver. Now again, because we're in geometry, it needs a component, so structure, topology, find components, and component 1, the first component that we made. We'll make another box, create box. Okay, bring it down a bit and put that where the passenger seat is. Save that, and we'll look at the other error, which is wheel 1 damper land. Now where are all these coming from in the config is what we need to know. And in the physics here, the wheel hub should be determined as wheel damper land, and I know that that is in the geometry lot. Oh, wait a minute, getting ahead of myself. Let's name that box and give it a component number first. Define that seat core driver structure by find components. There's two ways of doing that. We know that's a convex shape, but if you went convexity component convex hull like that, it'll do the same. But you'll notice now it only registers those as the vertices because it's got new faces. So make sure the whole, redefine the whole box. And don't do it if you've got proxies in the LOD, or else it'll break the proxy. It won't work anymore. Okay, so now we can go back to this. Which is in the wheel, and all the physics take place in the geometry LOD, like I say. So we're just going to create a cylinder, going to give it 12 segments, make it center of circle, why not? Radius, we just find that radius, and the width, we'll just have one segment. Now if we remember rightly, in here there we go, the radius we declared here, we won't give it all them 9s, but we'll give it that radius of 0.349, and the width we stated as 0.18. Don't need all that accuracy, do we? Z is the width there, isn't it? Okay, so that's the size of our wheel. Just center that. Oh god, did we? Oh sure. I'll just center that based on them lines there. Make sure it's touching the ground about there. This is the collision, and remember when I told you about the dampers and stuff? This is the thing that causes all that, so we need it fairly accurate. We will give it that. Much greeting. Define components. It's okay. I'm just going to make a new LOD. Copy that in, go across, and if we remember, this is 2.1. How do we know that? Well, we've seen it in the other video, but also in our config here. Front axle, the front right axle is 2.1 damper land. Remember the old nomenclature, there you go, 2.1 damper land. It's not component 1, so we'll delete that. Find component when we put it in back in the other LOD. Geometry. I'll copy those two, paste, and then move them to the back of the car. Get it somewhere near. And what we'll do is call that 1 2 and that 2 2 Desmond Bishop. Let's copy them, put that in the 0 geometry log, paste, and structure find components. Save it there. So now we've eliminated those errors, so we've got 4 wheels. We need to give them some mass. Let's give it 20. Doesn't really matter yet because we have a lot more to do. I'll just give it some mass. I'll give it 20 each, which is 80. Save that. Now we have fulfilled those errors. Let's go and get ourselves a car in game or a new set of errors. I'll have to stop this video soon because my computer's running out of memory and it's going to crash. I'll have no video again. Okay, welcome back. I just stopped that video and started again, hopefully. That allows me to stop it from bloody... Oh wow, look at us already. Wow, wow, wow. I wonder if the wheels will go on it. Oh yeah, of course they will. We'll be able to walk through it because we've got no geometry. Wheels have though, so that means the wheels are registered. Which is great. However, you'll notice we cannot get in it. Why can we not get in it? Let's go and see if it tells us why. That won't tell us anything, will it? DayZ local files, get the latest one in Notepad, find our Stratos. Blah blah blah, warning, 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 error. Get in position selection pos driver was not found. Neither was pos co-driver. We have a lot of errors here about the shape of the proxy, just ignore them for now. There's a way to fix it and there's a way that doesn't fix it. We'll see if we get lucky and fix it. Sometimes it is purely the wrong shape. Meaning the proxy itself, sorry. Right, so get in position pos driver. So first place we always look is in the config. And as if by magic, it's there, it told us. Looks like it also is missing this pos driver direction. Now I know, therefore you know, that those go in the memory, and there are two little vertices, one to donate, excuse me, one to denote the position where it gets in, and old school, I don't even know if it still does anything, is another to point the person getting in into a direction towards the car or towards the door. Now that's them 2 points, make sure they're above ground slightly maybe, and then we need another over here, same kind of thing for the co-driver. And if we're having cargo at the back, as you'll see, we'll have positions for them too. Pos co-driver and the direction of the co-driver. Save. So those are the two things we need from there. Now, I can also tell you that much like when the wheel at the boot, you know, the hood or the trunk or the hood or the doors get placed on the car, similarly when the driver gets placed on the car, it too needs a proxy. Now I make a proxy very early on, and I animated its arms. You can use that driver proxy there and just view, show proxy audio. It will give you a rough idea. What it'll also tell us is that this car is a bit not to scale. So you can use that to position it. So right now really we should get a whole of this car and scale it up by about 1.2, but I'm not going to do that because this lesson is not about the car, it's about all cars. Now, rather than go in and give it the error business, but you can do that. That's how you'll find, and what it will say is there is no proxy position called crew driver. So you need all these things in the model, not that, just these four. Copy that, and that's what, surprisingly, we're going to define that proxy as crew driver. And guess what? We're going to create another proxy, and we create 2 more for the crew, or 5 more depending on how many crew it's got. I'm going to delete that, and I'm going to do it properly. I'm going to create proxy, browse, and I've also done co-driver. Okay, and it's just a mirror really. I'll put that where the passenger seat is. Like I say, that car needs scaling up and everything, but we're not here to do that. It's not a modelling competition, thankfully. Right. We need to call that one crew co-driver. You'll also notice that in our model config we have crew driver and crew co-driver. We also have cargo one. Doesn't matter that we've left them in there. To have them in there is okay. To not have them in there but have them in the model and the CPP is not okay. It's better to have them in there and not use them than not have them in there at all. Hope that makes sense. So yeah, crew driver. You want to say screwdriver, don't you? Co-driver, new crew co-driver, save. Now, through experience, you could now go and start the game and no error will come, but you won't get in game. The reason for this is when we make these cars, we must also make some scripts. This is named after the base of our car script here. You see here, DBO car script. It's named exactly after the route in our CPP. See there? So it's and this is a direct copy from the hatchback. It's even got 4 seats in for now, but we're going to eliminate everything we don't need. So it's DBO car script, void car script for the noises. We're going to be doing noises, so sounds, noises. What we need to find here is something called seat connection, and what that means is that the seat for the driver and the seat for the back of the driver and the seat for the cargo one are all activated around this point here, seat connection 1-1, and that is a memory point. We're just going to insert a memory point here, put it near the door, define that seat con 1-1, and if you don't put that in, you'll never get in the car. And for the other side, cargo 2. I'm not going to delete all the unnecessary yet, because if you look at these cases, they all coincide with all the other cases, so you've got to eliminate the all. For now, we don't need to do it. Like I said, it's better to have it in, not use it, and not in and require it. I don't think I just did a point yet, did I? But anyway, 2-1 seems legit. Let's lift them off the ground a touch, save it. Now we haven't got much geometry, so if we do get allowed in this car, it's going to go haywire. Excuse me. And we'll get into that in the next video. This is all about just getting it in game and looking at it and getting it activated physically as a car. So we'll see you in game. Okay, now don't be scared about the fact that we can see those proxies there. It's only because you don't put them in the LOD there where I put them. I only did that to just reference. You only ever put those proxies in your view geometry here. That way you never see them. But you'll notice now we can get in. Oh ho! Do we want to get in? I expect it to go flying. Oh, even better. We have no batteries in the car or anything yet, so. But at least we know it does 98 kilometers an hour, so it's pretty fast. Excuse me. We saw 2 things there. One, when she got in, she wasn't the game crashed anyway, but that's not to do with the car. That's just something to do with Zombie, I think, and 1.11. Right, so we will take those 2 proxies there. We will delete them, delete empty, we will paste them in the view geometry, and now when we get in, we will not only not see those proxies. When we get in, we won't be sat on the roof, we'll be sat somewhere near there. Okay, so I'll see you back in game. Meanwhile, shall we check there for Stratos? Before we dive into the game. Well, it's all the shadow, all this damage work we know about. Proxy with the bone name crew driver was not found in the geometry level, so we've just rectified that. So it is looking in there. Truco 1 orange, so yeah, we've eliminated those errors and delete those now so we can easily find the latest one. Okay, I'll see you in game, and that will be the end of this lesson where we got it in game. The next video will be to start putting some finer detail into the script here. Start getting the battery, things like that. Battery proxy, engine, damage, smoke, exhaust. We've got a lot to do, boys and girls. But the car's in game, that's what you wanted. You probably already did that when you were making the wheel and swapped out the model, like I said, didn't you? I wouldn't believe this, the fucking game started twice. Okay, I had a lot of fun getting in game because it started twice, so I had two versions of the game running. Anyway, so when we get in this time, it should fall through the sky, but we should be sat in the seat, not on the roof. There you go, we are much more into the thing. We haven't configured the steering wheel itself yet, so but yeah, we're gonna have some fun. So let's just have a recap before we go on to another video. What we've done here is we created a car script based on the hatchback. We led our config via our config mods to that script. Remember when we did it for wheels? So it's already in there. We've got all our config mods. Anything beyond that, because it reads subfolders, will be red. So similar if there's any errors. So we took the hatchback and just made it into our car script, and then at the bottom of that we inherited to our Stratos. So far we've left everything in that's the hatchback, and we're going to take that out in the next video. We're going to replace it with the things that we on our Stratos have. We're going to take out the cargo seats because we don't have them. That's for another day when we do a 4-door car. I already have them videos in my channel that you get to see for your
so here we are
very kind contribution to Patreon. Down here we have the 4-door. So everything's ready for that. 16 videos, including with that one there are files to go along with. 4 doors, etc. But for now, with this one, which is more up to date, we're in game and we're running. So I'll see you in the next videos. If you've got any questions on this one, part 11, let me know. Bye bye for now, and thank you for being very loyal with your patronage. It's really what helps me make this, and consider a PayPal donation just to get me through the objective of getting some more memory for my PC or whatever helps me to help you by making these. Thank you. Bye bye for now.